Yeah, I'm not surprised about that at all, Paul. It makes sense to me that he should be on the list. And first of all, the chief executive at Aston Villa, Christian Purslow, used to be at Liverpool, so there's a relationship right away there with Steven Gerrard. I know that Christian Purslow rates Steven Gerrard very, very highly. Aston Villa is a massive football club. English Premier League, as we know, is a massive platform. They're very, very wealthy owners, so I'm not surprised Steven Gerrard is on the list, because he deserves to be on the list. Now for Rangers that's not good news, but for Steven Gerrard it must be great to be wanted and to be mentioned, with clubs such as Aston Villa. But he's still got unfinished. I agree, he's got unfinished business at Rangers. I think he wants to retain the title, wants to go and try and win a cup. But the lure of the English Premier League, Paul, we can't underestimate that. Aston Villa are not a bigger club than Rangers, but English football provides a totally different platform. And at some point, it might not be this week, but at some point Steven Gerrard will want to go there. And as I've said in this programme before, I don't think his next move will be directly to Liverpool from Rangers. I think he'll need to go one in between to get to Anfield.
A Rangers legend is with us. Barry Ferguson, what do you think? First of all, about Aston Villa, interested in Steven Gerrard. Are you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised, obviously, by the job that Steven Gerrard's done, certainly over the last 15 or 16 months. Look, I know Aston Villa pretty well. I played in the city.
Yep.
For Birmingham.
You were the Blues?
Yeah, I was the Blues side. Fantastic stadium. They're a big club, no doubt about it. Great stadium, as I said. Terrific training ground. But I think Steven Gerrard, Mark used a word there, he's got unfinished business, and I do believe that even if Aston Villa do come calling, I think Steven Gerrard will remain at Rangers this season.
Do you think, though, that he would speak to them if they contact him, Mark or Barry? If Aston Villa say, Steven Gerrard, you're the person we want as the manager to take us up the table into Europe, we've got massive wealth behind us, what do you think Steven Gerrard would do?
Well, first of all, he could only speak to them if Rangers give him permission. If Rangers say no, he can't speak to them unless he wants it to get really, really messy. So the ball is then with Rangers, Paul. And everybody's got contracts, there's compensation figures in it. I'm sure for Steven Gerrard and his backroom staff, it would be millions and millions. What was it, Brendan Rodgers and the backroom staff for 9 million?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a massive amount of money, and I dare say Rangers will have something similar in place for Steven Gerrard. But he can only speak to them if Rangers give him permission. So that's the way it works.
I mean, Scottish football wouldn't want to see Steven Gerrard go now, certainly. And I heard Danny Murphy this morning saying no, he doesn't think he'll go anywhere until he goes to Liverpool. Danny Murphy, of course, one of his close teammates from his Liverpool days. But Barry, what would you do? I mean, the owners, Nassif Sawiris and Wes Edens, they're billionaires. If they come with a massive chequebook, he's loved his time here, he's still loving it here as far as we know, but he did mention 3 weeks ago about the lack of money in the transfer market. And if they come with a huge bag of money, what does he do?
Look, money's no object for Aston Villa. I mean, the Premier League alone is a big pool. I just think in Steven Gerrard's eyes, he has still got to win more trophies to then make that step down to the Premier League. And I think this season is so important to him to try and retain the league title, but also add some of the domestic cups, i.e. the League Cup or Scottish Cup. So my honest opinion is, if Aston Villa do come calling, Mark's right, contract situations, they need to get permission to speak to him. Whether Rangers allow that or not, that's another thing. But I firmly believe that he will remain at Rangers to try and get another couple of trophies under his belt, and then he may look the following season to make that step if another job becomes available.
Mark, what do you reckon? What will his reaction be?
Well, first of all, he'll be very flattered. I would guess, Paul, yeah, he's happy here, but there'll be intrigue, there's ego as well.
Sure.
And that's done against Steven Gerrard. That's just that's natural. So I think you would be intrigued to find out what they've got to say. What's your plans? How much do you want me? All that kind of thing. So that's where again, it could be a tricky one for it, because if Steven Gerrard's advisors indicate to the Rangers board that he wants to go and speak to them, then I think he'd probably allow him to do it. But that doesn't mean to say he's definitely going, because he might say, no, look, I'm staying put. But if you deny him that, then you run the risk of him being unhappy. And it doesn't strike me as the type of person that would resign, that would go with a bad taste in their mouth. I think it would be done properly, or not done at all. And as well for Steven Gerrard, listen, money's not everything, but it is a part of life, and he's well paid at Rangers. But Paul, it's like being a player. He'll treble, quadruple his money by going down, and that's no disrespect. That's just a fact. Like, that's what happens. That's the riches of English football, and then you're operating in a totally different ballpark in terms of what you can do with salaries and with transfer funds. But the thing that's totally different from down there in Aston Villa compared to up here where Rangers are, you're not really fighting for trophies. So you're fighting to try and do well to get Aston Villa into the top 6 to show that you're ready for another step. So does he think he can do that with Villa, or does he think it's better here, try to win the 56th title, try to win
in Europe as well,
and European football as well? But then you look at, for example, look at what West Ham are doing now under David Moyes. So Steven Gerrard said, well, I could go and do that with Aston Villa. You never know, Paul. There's a lot of things in it, but the bottom line is now we're seeing that Steven Gerrard, because of what he's achieved with Rangers and the impact that he's made in European football with some really good results, maybe not particularly this season, but in the previous couple of seasons, then that's why he's on the radar.
I get it, Rangers fans will hate the chat, but it's inevitable now,
happen,
isn't it?
Paul, it's going to happen. If you do well up here, teams down in the English Premier League are going to look at the managers, and certainly Steven Gerrard as a player was unbelievable footballer. As a manager, look, Rangers has been good for Steven Gerrard. They gave him his first opportunity in management. It's been a slow burner the last 3 or so seasons. Obviously the first couple of seasons trophyless. Last season they stuck by him, backed him, and helped him get on the road as a manager. So Steven Gerrard strikes me as somebody who knows that he needs to get more trophies. One trophy, I think he's hungry for more, and he'll certainly get that up here.